Channel, and today I'm doing a video on why I love Rolex and why I wear my 43mm Seadweller every day. I'd like to say thank you that our response for my first video has really overwhelmed me. I've been really enjoying replying to your comments, talking about ADs and other people's favourite pieces, and I really appreciate all your support. Thank you. Me in this lovely snowy Sunday afternoon. We've actually bombarded my sim race room today because it's nice and warm, lovely conditions inside. So today we're doing a video on why I love Rolex. So we're going to start with what attracted me to Rolex, why I wanted to buy my first Rolex, when I bought my first Rolex, what Rolex was it, and just why I appreciate the brand, why their pieces are selling over list price, and just why the brand is just doing so well. First interaction with a Rolex was when I was 21. My father's had watches in the past, and he sold up a few in his younger days. And when I was 21, he hadn't had one for a long time, and we just went shopping. We just went shopping in a local city, and we just popped into our one of our local Rolex HDs just to have a look. We wasn't interested in buying any pieces then. We wasn't interested. We wasn't looking to buy a piece, but we ended up actually buying a piece. That wasn't for me. That was actually for my brother-in-law. But obviously, while we were looking at the watch, while we were looking to see the selection, I was just there. I could never even think about buying one. I was just there flicking through the catalogue, just thinking which one actually took my fancy, and just flicking through, looking at the Submariners, looking at the GMTs, and I've always thought the 40mm were a bit small for my wrist, so I've always had a strong attraction to the larger wristwatches like Rolex do. And as soon as I got to that bit, it was into the Seadwellers, and as soon as I saw the first picture of the deep sea, I just thought to myself, that is the one I want. And like I said, that was on my 21st birthday. I'm 28 this year, so it's been a while, and it's a bit of a dream. I've always wanted to own one. I've always wanted to own more than one. And I never thought I would. So when I first saw Rolex, my first Rolex watch, like I said, it was when I was 21, looking in the shops, and we were lucky enough to be able to touch and feel. Obviously, with these COVID times now, it's probably a lot different, and I'm really looking forward to be able to go visit RADs and make sure, see if we can have a touch and feel and have that interaction that we're not having at the moment with obviously the COVID restrictions. But it's always a really nice experience to catch up with them, see what's new in the watch world, and obviously have a chat and see what they got. And if you've ever seen watches which are like your even further watches in your dream, you can touch and feel, and it's really nice to really appreciate the watch itself. Then I've always had a good passion for watches, and watches have always been a real niche thing in terms of the actual construction and all the moving parts inside your wrist, and they get, obviously Rolex watches, they get made to perfection, and the timekeeping. Like, I always thought to myself, if someone asked me to build a watch, I wouldn't even know where to start, and that appreciation has grown and grown and grown. And the build quality of a Rolex, the perfection of a Rolex, the little tweaks they do, which is quite clever for marketing purposes. It's always been really quirky, and the way they market themselves, obviously, always with the top athletes, always in the top scenarios, always, with the top end of, like, for example, Formula 1, they're in Formula 1 Le Mans, they're always doing the top events of many categories. So I always appreciate that, because they're always striving to be with the best and to produce the best. and that has always been a lot of motivation for me. I'm always been trying to strive to be my best, and always to, you know, perform to my best abilities and do anything on a daily basis to my best. And when I look at Rolex, it's a very big, it's a proud thing to be able, always proud to wear, and I'm always happy to wear it. And you know, it gets to the point now where it's kind of phone, wallet, watch, keys, and stuff. But it's always a core part of my daily activities, and I always wear a Rolex. For me, I feel like also a watch always has a milestone, always has a story, and that's what I always like to put to my watches. So for example, when I said to you earlier in the video, when I was 21, when I was looking through the catalogue, and then after 2 or 3 years, when you can actually be in a good position and have the opportunity to buy your dream Rolex, or the one you've been looking from whenever you saw your first one, and look at, oh, that's really been a real big goal. And the day you get that, the day you pick up that dream Rolex, and you've obviously saved up really hard, you've worked really hard, you've done loads of things to try and be able to get there, and the day you finally got it, it's really exciting. If you feel a lot of accomplishment, and that's why for me, watches will always be a thing on my heart, that I just be able to love them so much. And you know, a lot of people ask me, yeah, but it's this amount of money, it's that amount of money, you know, what's wrong with this one? I'm using my phone. It's more the appreciation I have for people who can craft these devices, which are plus or minus 2 each way every day, 2 seconds, and just that there's no batteries in there, the mechanical movements, and I just have mad appreciation that the skill to design, to make, to build and deliver these watches is why I love Rolex. When I was 21, I actually bought my first Rolex, and that was actually the plain deep sea 44mm case, original, just plain black dial, and at the time discounts were a thing. Got a little bit of discount on it, which was a really good price. Couldn't get a James camera now, like, you know, list, waiting list, hard to get, selling well over list price already. This is back in obviously 5-6 years ago. So I got offered the black dial, and obviously, of course, it was my dream watch. I took it straight away, didn't even think about it. Got a bit of discount, lovely job, happy days. And the reason I got it when I was 21 is because my dad always already brought his first Rolex when he was 21, so I kind of wanted to square him up and also get mine when I was 21. Really proud moment. You know, it's really good hobby that me and my father have. And we're always talking watches. It's a real, you know, always when we're together, we're driving, we're out for dinner, we're always talking about watches. Watching what maybe you just sold, what I'm looking to sell, or maybe what I'm looking to buy, what I want to do next, what I quite fancy, what I saw, which is a different brand other than Rolex, and I quite fancied it. New watches that other brands have released. Obviously, you've got Bezel World, you know, models that are getting discontinued, models that are coming out, you know, all these different market prices that have inflated crazy. For example, the LV, the Hulk, has gone absolutely crazy on the price, and we're just like, wow, you know, when we're, you know, I remember that first day we went in these green submarines and in the window, you can pick them up second hand for about 5,000. Now they're like 15 plus. And it's always a great topic. So first of all, it's the size. 43mm for me is a perfect size wristwatch. I feel like my wrists are actually quite chunky, so the subs and the GMTs, they're a good fit, but not the perfect size for my wrist. So, like I said before, always the larger watches have always been interesting. The 44 Deep Sea was my daily wear. I used to wear that. And we'll go into other stories about what other watches. They'll be coming out further along. Today we're just focusing on the 43mm Seadweller. And actually, I find like the Deep Sea is a chunky watch. It is a big 44mm case, and it's very thick. But with the 43, it's a slightly bit smaller than Deep Sea, and I feel like the case is it's sensible. You can wear it daily. It's very comfortable, and the bracelet is becoming more and more comfortable. It's like it's really settling in nicely. I really also enjoy the fact that I really want to wear it every day, that, you know, it holds a lot of stories, it holds a lot of memories, it holds a lot of appreciation, and I feel like that is what a Rolex or should be, and that I feel like a watch can hold a lot of stories and memories for your future generations, and, you know, anyone you want to pass it down to. Or this the 43mm actually holds the 3235 caliber, 70 hour reserve. So like I said in my previous video, the 70 hour reserve is fantastic. You can wear it for 2-3 days, not a thing, and if you wear it daily, you don't have to think about it. It's easy on, off you go to all your day's activities, and you. So as you can see, the Rolex 43mm Seadweller actually holds the standard ceramic bezels with the single red writing for the Seadweller, which is this is actually the 50th edition anniversary model. So this is for the 50th year Rolex has made Seadwellers. They did a Mark 1 for the first year of production. Now we're on to the Mark 2, which actually has a different dial than the first year, so that makes it even better. And overall, it's a fantastic watch, and this is one I'm never ever gonna sell. Thanks for watching. It's nice to share our stories. Get involved, give it a like, give it a subscribe, leave a comment about any experience you've had with Rolex, what your favourite pieces are, and a good enthusiastic watch chat. See you on the next one.